Yo, what's up guys? Universal Mastery. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that is very, very, very fascinating, and it is 110% possible if you actually apply this properly. If you actually know what you're doing and you're coming at it from the right intention, then you can accomplish this. So what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is changing your genetic codes. So first thing first, I want to tell you guys, like and subscribe to this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell because I post videos every single day, and the videos that I make, sitting in front of this camera right now, I really go the extra mile. Like, I'm really putting myself out there and I'm exerting a lot of my energy to try and share these messages, and I'm doing that because that's what I fucking love to do. I love pushing the boundary and I love sharing my knowledge. And I do have a lot of knowledge, trust me. And this isn't just regurgitated shit. This is stuff that I've actually been through, so I've experienced all this stuff. Just to give you guys a little bit of a context of who I am. So I love sharing this knowledge, and yeah, so I mean, without further ado, let me go right into it. So when it comes to genetic codes, let's see, where do I want to start with this? When it comes to genetic codes, we all have our own genetic codes and our own genetic grid work structures, if you will. Individually, we all have our own genetic grid works. Now, these genetic grid works have been carried on in lots and lots and lots and lots of our past lives. So these have been passed on, these genetic codes. And within every single genetic code, there is some form of a memory. And there is some form of a trauma. There is some form of an experience. There is some form of an understanding. There is some form of power. Okay? Within each genetic code. Now, in today's society, we are taught that these genetic codes don't exist the way they really do. Meaning, we are being distracted from the potential that lies really deep within our own genetic structures, within our own genetic codes, if you will. And by the distraction, it's a psychological, mental distraction. Literally enough to be told, you don't get out of line, don't think you have this power, like, who do you think you are? You're just a human. That alone, if you're grown up with that belief, that alone is enough to shut off your genetic structure from fully surfacing. Now, there's also other more advanced ways that they do it, like when you hear of things like in the nature of chemtrails, when you hear of genetically modified foods, when you hear about all the solar rays that they're pumping out onto us to try and essentially dumb us down, dumb a part of our brains down. But the funny thing is behind all that, and I was just doing some research on this the other day, and I always felt, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I always felt this in my, I always knew this was true, I just didn't know how to explain it. But now I did research. That tends to happen when you start getting into wanting to uncover this knowledge. Your spirit guides and your higher self will lead you to the answers. They'll present themselves. Like, I was on YouTube, there's this girl that I follow, and she just happens to make a video on this thing that I've been wanting to know as of recently. So it's like, that's the art of life. I'm kind of getting chills talking about it. But they're pretty much talking about how all these things that they're doing to our body, like with the genetically modifying foods, the chemtrails and all those things I mentioned, they're doing it trying to dumb us down so that we don't realize what's really in our genetic codes and in our genetic structures. But the whole thing is starting to backfire on them, because really what they're doing is they're pumping us with almost this foreign this foreign energy, etheric energy, right? But we are so fucking powerful as the beings that we are that some of us are learning how to adapt to these etheric and foreign energies and literally transmute it and change our own genetic codes according to that. And because we're doing that on such a deep genetic level, we're literally learning how to transmute it and activate even more of our most dormant genetic codes. Okay, so I don't want to lose you guys. So in simple terms, we're basically taking all this bullshit that they're trying to throw at us, and even on a subconscious level, you might not even be fully aware this is happening, and you may be doing this, or maybe you are aware and you're doing it, like in my case. But we're taking all this crazy energy, all this crazy shit, and we're transmuting it into literal more power, because we're awakening these other genetic codes, because our bodies have adapted. So when let's say you work a job, right? And let's say you work this job for about a year. You get adapted to the workplace. You get adapted to the people that you work with. You get adapted to the customer, the clientele. You get adapted to the environment. You get adapted, and you get used to it, and it becomes something that you become a master of, essentially. Saying that you're a striver for success. You start to master your environment, and you become more aware of it. Now, let's say you switch jobs, completely just quit that job and go to a completely different job with a different environment, different coworkers, excuse me, different clientele, completely different everything. At first, your body's going to go in a little bit of a shock, where it's going to be like, okay, I need to analyze this shit. I need to figure out where I'm at. I need to figure out how people operate. I need to figure out, what these people are thinking. I need to figure out how I operate here. What is my role in this scene? We're going to go through this mental process. Then you are going to adapt to that new environment. Depending on how fast you are at adapting, you will eventually adapt. So our bodies are naturally these powerful beings, literally superhuman beings. we're not I want you guys to understand this. We're not just humans. Our genetics go so far back that we have different beings in our DNA. So being a human's powerful, but also being a human mixed with other races of beings, on a different level, when it comes to reptilians, when it comes to beings that we don't really have names for fully, different alien type beings, that brings a whole new level to the scale of awareness of what we can really tap into within ourselves. So yeah, we're essentially taking all this crazy energy, we're transmuting it because our bodies are naturally adapting, and then we're reawakening these genomes, these genetics within ourselves. So what I want you guys to understand is that these genetics that we are awakening, there's a specific genetic that extends our life. Our normal life expenditure is supposed to be somewhere within the range of 1,200 years. So we're living in today's society 100 if you're lucky, which means that there's some massive psychological bullshit going on. There's a lot of massive psychological warfare, psychological distractions. But it's amazing because as the generation goes on, 10 years ago, completely different society. 10 years ago, where we're at now, people are starting to wake up. We're starting to talk about this shit, and there's this momentum behind what we're talking about. It's happening a lot faster than what we ever thought was possible. This stuff is really happening, and we're moving in a good direction. I'm gonna make a video. I'm glad I'm talking about this because I'm gonna make a whole nother video on what I've channeled for the future, how I see the future. When I go into a meditative state and I talk to specific energies. A big influence in my life is the energies of Lucifer, Hecate, Belial, and Lilith. Those are my spirit guides. So those are my patrons and patronesses. They're some of the most meaningful spirits to me, and they're the closest to me, and they have a huge impact in my life. I've seen how they work in my life. I've seen how they show up. I've seen them. It's real. and they've revealed a lot of knowledge to me because I've been a vessel for it. I've been asking for this knowledge for a long time. My mind's always been on it, and they reached out to me, and I reached out to them, and we came together, and I started building relationships with these deities, with these beings, these powerful gods that were worshipped throughout mankind before, like back in the alien times. What I mean by aliens is beings that I can't really put a name to because I don't know. So I'm just going to say alien, right? But they've revealed knowledge to me, and I have all this knowledge about what the future is going to look like. And it's not just me, and I'm not telling you guys like, this is my fucking fantasy, listen to me on my fucking camera. This is like what other people are channeling too, that are working with very similar energies as well. Like we're almost doing a big prediction of what's coming, and what's coming is a good thing, okay? But you do want to be ready for it because there's an energy shift behind for what's coming, okay? So I'll make a whole nother video on that in maybe after this one in a little bit here. But back to the genetic code. So there's a specific gene in us that can literally extend our lives to 1,200 years. And I find that so fascinating. I feel the energy flowing through my fucking body right now. I'm like about to get chills, but I find it fascinating because I've been wanting to extend my life longer than what anyone else has lived. That's been on my mind, and that's been something that I'm going to do. Okay, I'm 23 years old right now, and there's not too many people my age that are trying to accomplish this. But there are people that are trying to accomplish this, a few amounts. And with the knowledge that we now have, and with the intention of trying to live up around that time, 1,200 years, extending our lives longer than what has been seen in a long time, because this used to be real, this used to happen. I have a strong belief, and I know this to be true, that it's possible. It really is. And maybe the fact that I'm just talking about it right now, and that I just know, maybe that alone is activating that genome in myself. That's giving me chills. Like maybe that is activating that genome within my own self. So maybe I am going to be able to live 1,200 years, maybe even longer. Because remember, that was average. 1,200 years was supposed to be the average life frame. You could live longer than that. Okay, so maybe by just talking about it and putting my intentions towards it, that's maybe one of the reasons why the knowledge is being revealed to me on a genetic level of how this stuff is actually happening and what's capable, what is possible in this realm. And maybe by just talking about it is exerting even more energy into that actually happening with myself. And maybe that's a formula that happens with anything that you want to achieve in life. The more you believe it, the more you speak about it, the more it starts to manifest, the more it starts to show up. But I want you guys to understand that that is just one specific genome that can extend your life. Now think of all the other fucking genomes, the powerful ones that we have in our body that can do other superhuman amazing things, like being able to levitate. Like I'm literally seeing spirits like in my room. Like I don't know if you guys know, but I've gotten to a point where I can see energies like orbs, like these black orbs, or kind of like see-through orbs. Most of the time black though, because I work with a lot of dark energies, like from the night side and things like that. Like the names I mentioned, like in a lot of cultures, a lot of societies, they call these beings the devils, because a lot of people are afraid of true knowledge. Like a lot of people are afraid to have to dive into who they really are to uncover real knowledge. I'm not. I did that. I do that. I continue to do that, and I will always do that. So that's why I have such a strong connection with these beings, but I tend to see them manifest all the time. And it's so cool because when I'm talking to you guys, I'm literally seeing this energy manifest right next to the camera when I'm talking about this. And I know it's something that's important and something that's powerful. So, with that being said, what other genomes do we have in our body that we can do amazing, superhuman, supernatural things with? Like levitating, being able to move objects with your hand, being able to maybe not even have to ever eat food and just nourish your body just off your mental state, producing the nutrients that you need, producing a constant state of energy. Physically, like let's say, my finger got chopped off, growing the whole finger back completely, maybe even stronger than it was before. All things in that nature are possible. But we just have to start putting our minds to it and start wanting to at least know the wisdom, the knowledge that comes behind it, and then we will actually start to walk down that path, and it will eventually be revealed to you. Whatever you seek for when it comes to wisdom, knowledge, power will eventually be yours, as long as you stay consistent trying to seek it. Don't fucking give up. That's the worst thing you can do. And if you give up, come back, okay? Like, give up for like a month and then come back, okay? Like, pick up where you left off, because that shit is worth it. And I'm telling you this now. Like, I've been through shit. I've fucked up before. I've given up before. But now that I'm starting to realign myself and I got my mind and I cut all the toxic shit out of my life, things are being revealed to me. Life is so different. I'm a completely fucking different person than I was a year ago. And then 2 years ago, you can only imagine the change. And then 3 years ago, even bigger. All things of that nature. But that is the genetic structure that we have. So I want you to think of this before I end this video. I want you guys to think of the fact that your genes, your genetic codes, they're real life living creatures. You are, whatever, what you see as your higher self, that is every single DNA, atom, gene, genetic code within your body into one spiritual being. Okay? Do you understand that? So your body is literally living. All the blood, all the genes in your body is a living organism. It is a living creature. And the more you activate, the more they become alive, the more energy you have. Can you guys tell that I have a lot of energy? And can you tell that I'm able to ground my energy and use it? Because some people have a lot of energy, but they don't know how to ground it. And they don't know how to share it. Hopefully you guys can tell that I know how to do that. But it wasn't easy. I had to work to be able to do this. I had to learn certain things. I had to go through certain trials to be able to receive this power. But is it worth it? Fuck yeah. Yeah, motherfucker. I would never have it any other way. And I'm excited for what's coming. What else is coming? But yeah, another idea for a video just came to me. I had a crazy fucking dream, and I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna make a whole video on it because it's life changing, and it could change your guys' life too if you really pick out the wisdom within the video. But other than that, I'm gonna leave it there. Treat your body with respect, okay? Eat healthy foods. Eat foods that are alive. Get the good source from the foods. Drink a lot of juices. That's like my new thing. Juicing is key. It puts you on a whole different energetic level. But yeah, take care of your body because your body is alive. Your genes are alive. So feed them the foods that they need to eat to be even more alive. And then put your mind on the right things. Put your mind in powerful places so that you can fully activate all of your hidden sacred genetic codes. Other than that, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'm posting videos pretty much like every single day. Follow me on Instagram, JER_477. Love you guys. Peace.